Hey everybody, in this video we're going to be talking about the unique 2010 release, Blockade Billy. We'll be showing you the points to look for when trying to identify first US and first UK trade editions of the book. So the first publication of Blockade Billy was in an edition that looked very similar to this, and it was limited and it was published by Cemetery Dance. This is the first trade hardcover edition, which was published by Scribner and has no dust jacket, just the artwork printed directly onto the boards. On the back, look for a price of $14.99 US. And on the copyright page, look for the handy dandy Scribner number line that includes the number 1. But anyway, I'm going to pass it over to Noah to talk about the UK first edition of the book.
Hey everyone, so today we're going to be looking at the UK trade edition of Blockade Billy. The book was published by Hodder and Stoughton. It's a digest-sized hardcover without a jacket. Looks basically the same as the US trade edition. Very bland, sort of plain, almost like a library binding because the artwork is printed directly onto the book itself, which I find to be not very attractive. It reminds me of a library binding, but anyway, it's a cheap book. The price on the back cover is $9.99 UK. And the copyright page will have a single 1 by itself here to indicate first printing. And it's, like I said, a no-frills book, so that's pretty much all I have to say about that. So that's the UK trade Blockade Billy.
This is a unique and slightly oddball release. I've never felt the drive to pay. I mean, it's not super expensive, but I've never felt driven to acquire the original Cemetery Dance release because it is kind of just an oddball boutique. This is potentially could be considered a novella, just a single novella, or a really, really long short story just published in a standalone edition for $15. So I've always been a little bit incredulous about it in general, even though it is a really good story. In this release, there is a second story, Morality. So Blockade Billy takes around 80 pages of the book, and then Morality takes the remaining 50 or so. So we could charitably call those novellas, but probably they're short stories. So you get 2 short stories in this oddball standalone release. The original Cemetery Dance edition did come, I believe, with every copy, or it may have been an additional thing at an additional cost, but you could get a baseball card of Blockade Billy or a baseball card of Stephen King, which is kind of fun. But anyway, it's just an interesting little diversion in my opinion, but we did want to cover it because it is a standalone publication and it is something that you may want to have in your collection, or you may not care too much about and be just fine passing over.